So from a native Kubernetes policy standpoint, really the low-hanging fruit where everyone gets started is access. And so the question we'll raise to the audience is, how are you managing and granting access to your Kubernetes clusters today? How are you kind of managing service accounts, for example? So if you have a Jenkins or an Argo CD for your CI/CD, or maybe you have security services that InfoSec needs to have audit access. How are you kind of managing that today?
Yeah, I mean, we've heard from multiple customers at trade shows. We've talked to different ones that are looking at TMC or Tanzu Mission Control, and one of the themes that we've heard fairly frequently, but not every time, is that a lot of customers manage clusters individually. So they have a kube config, they switch their context every time they need to update something, they apply a YAML, and then they move on. Which is well and good until you forget to maybe apply it to like one cluster. You've got a list of 10 and you just happen to miss number 9 and skip to 10. I've done it before on server maintenance, so it it it's an easy thing to do when you're just trying to get something done. So we hear a lot of customers still do it manually. It's just really not a great way to scale at the end of the day. So having clusters in different clouds and different environments means you have to context switch even more. So it becomes a very tedious process just to update one role binding once you start to get past 5, even 10 clusters. So
Yeah, an example I can reference here in the San Francisco Bay Area is there's a customer with over 10,000 Kubernetes clusters. And you can kind of think like, how do I just visualize who has access to what? Just from an audit compliance standpoint, not to mention, are they patched for the latest CV? Are they configured the same? So having a method to just automate and just simplify your lives going forward is my top recommendation. Then you get into use cases. And so if we go back to the example of production versus non-production, production should be locked down. There's going to be some things that the average person should have access to, and whatever access is changed should go through a pipeline, so it's validated before going to production. And so a specific example is you have a developer and they want to test a Kubernetes operator, but that's a cluster-wide decision. So any changes they're making is now impacting every namespace. And so maybe for non-production, you give developers cluster admin rights, or a particular team lead cluster admin rights to build and test a Kubernetes operator, either that they're writing themselves or that they're consuming from a project or a community. But from a production standpoint, a developer should not be making cluster-wide decisions. And so that's where you would limit that to the platform operator roles. You could still give individuals namespace admin, so they can make changes within, but they're not going to make a cluster-wide decision in prod.